We'll be live in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Junior Golf Podcast. I am your host, Ro Thompson. And as always, we got a special guest on the podcast tonight. But before we get into the podcast, I want to thank our sponsors. This episode of the Junior Golf Podcast is brought to you by Aeon Schools. In golf, success is built on discipline, strategy, and long-term vision. Well, without any further delay, let me bring to you the founders of the Junior Golf Playbook, Sarah and Chili Coleman. Hey, y'all. How's it going?
Hey.
Hey, listen, I hope y'all are ready. I hope y'all got your seatbelts on. It is going to be a great show tonight.
We're excited.
Well, listen. So before we get into the playbook and all the success that y'all are having in the junior golf world, tell us how all this golf stuff came about. I mean, Chili, did you play? Sarah, did you play? Give us the backstory of your golf career.
Well, I started playing. My dad's a really good golfer. He's a physician here in Augusta, and I started playing with him. And he would take me off to the golf course, and it was a great time to just spend time with my dad, and that's how I got hooked. At first, I just wanted to drive the golf cart, but then then I started liking the game and enjoying it, and then it got to the point where it was that time to just hang out with my friends, and I really got the bug and started practicing nonstop. And I would fall asleep with the golf channel on, and
that's right.
Everything I did was about golf. So
yes,
and then, that hasn't changed.
So that is where I started, and that's when Hamilton was born. It was like, this guy's going to be a golfer. I can guarantee you. At least try the game.
now, how old was Hamilton when he got started?
Well, when he was a toddler, when he could barely walk, he used to bring his little plastic clubs.
Okay.
And I would grab the plastic club and I'd put it in his hand, emulating the grip, and I'd swing it back and forth, and he loved it.
Wow.
And then it got to the point where he couldn't walk, but he would grab that golf club and crawl over to me, and then he'd hold the club up, and then we'd do the same thing, and it just continually progressed from there. And then we were living in Charlotte, North Carolina for a while, and we had in our neighborhood we had a little green space, and I would spend hours, after work or whatever, and he would just hit balls, and I would teach him the grip and all that stuff. And so that's how it started. And then I was teaching my other son how to hit the golf ball, and it was like the movie A River Runs Through It, where Brad Pitt kind of goes off in the distance from the side. And he started just figuring it out himself. And I was like, man, I got something.
Got something special, right?
Yeah. And meanwhile, I was just along for the ride. I had never played golf growing up. I knew people played golf, but I grew up in Atlanta, but didn't know anyone I mean, I never went to the course myself. But once he and I started dating, of course, he convinced me to go to the range and try to play. And I did try to take it up for a little while, but once the kids getting married and the kids started coming along, it was just too hard to get out there. But now I love it. I mean, I don't know even though I've never played it, I feel like I love it as much as you can without not having played it. But I love to watch it. I love watching live on TV. So it's definitely become like a lifestyle for our family.
Yeah, sounds like my wife. So, Sarah, if you are one of those golf moms, you probably like to make sure the snacks are, taken care of, the water, hydration, the whole nine, right?
Yeah, we were actually just talking about that before, because Hamilton's very first tournament when he was 7, it was really, really hot. It was down in Tega Cay in South Carolina.
South Carolina. We're in Columbia. So yeah, we know.
Right, you know where that is, exactly. And he was
Yeah.
just reminding me how it was so hot, and on the very first golf tournament, none of us thought to bring a water bottle. Like
I
that
I
was
had one water bottle, and I got a cart, and the people we were playing with, they were veterans. He was 7
Uh-huh.
years old, and they had a big old cooler in the back of their, like a Yeti cooler in the back of their golf cart, and
Right.
water was coming over, like it was coming out, and I was like,
Right.
and Hamilton started drinking the water.
Coming
And
out
I
of the
was like,
cooler.
whoa, 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 whoa! That's the only water we have.
Right. 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 Man, I mean, I know we got, between us, we got so many memories of junior golf, but y'all did something incredible a while back, and y'all started a playbook. What was the aha moment for you all to say, you know what, we need to put this playbook together so that way junior parents and junior golfers can have a much easier path than what because I don't know about y'all, but we did a lot by trial and error, and we did have some mentors. But what was your aha moment? Why did y'all do that?
No, that's exactly. Well, let me back up and say, as Hamilton was started out pretty young, I mean, we had
Okay.
so many questions. We didn't know a lot of kids that were playing golf,
Yeah.
and certainly with him being our firstborn, we hadn't been through it before. And anyway, we just were trying things, like you said, trial and error, and just
Right.
figuring things out on our own. And then as he got older, it definitely started getting easier because our network was growing for sure.
Right.
And so then we could figure out who we could trust to talk with. Like we had access to coaches and,
Mhm.
um, mentors, like you said. But at some point, we were like, gosh, it just has to be a little bit easier. I mean,
Yeah.
I
it
think
just seems so complicated.
I think when
Mhm.
he was 12 years old, we made the decision to take him out of US Kids.
Yeah.
And when we were at Worlds, when he was 12 years old,
The world
Mhm.
changed.
yeah, I was like, I don't know what to do. Like, what tours are we gonna do? He's not good enough to. He's too small to play AJGA. And I know
Yeah.
we signed up for AJGA, but he wasn't. He
It's hard to
wasn't.
get in.
Right.
And then I started asking questions, and then I think we just started, playing little tours, just kind of, I don't know, just kind of experimenting.
Mhm.
And then we just kind of realized that, hey, he's pretty good. So,
Mhm.
and that's when we put him in a junior all-star. He did well in that. And
Right.
then we put him in an open tournament, and he was in middle school and almost won the thing.
Hmm.
So we're like, dude, I think we need to figure out what we got to do. So we experimented a lot.
But
Okay. Yeah.
fast forward to 18 months ago, someone was I was reading a newsletter, and the owner of the newsletter had said that he was interested in selling his website and content. Basically, he
Right.
wanted to pass the reins along to
Yeah.
someone else because he was no longer in junior golf. So we actually worked with him and through
Mhm.
that, and then changed the name to Junior Golf Playbook. So that's how
Yeah.
that came about. And I think the whole intention the last 18 months that we've been running it is just to try to be that a resource for parents. And hey, we might not have all the answers, but maybe we can help you, get some more information or get in touch with somebody that does.
We didn't have the resources. We just kind of winged it. We kind of
Right.
tried to figure it out. I remember
Yes.
a prime example. He was playing in a certain tournament, a certain company, and he would win by like 17 shots, 22 shots. And I was like, this isn't gonna, this ain't
Not the
gonna
right
work.
tour.
We're gonna
Not
get
the right
any
tour.
better by doing this. So the one
Right.
thing that we did is we started looking at the courses that he played. Like Hamilton really wanted to play Tobacco Road, so we played in this tournament, Tobacco Road, because that was his favorite course,
Yeah.
and he won by like 22 shots, and we were like, but still, he just got to play the course like 3 times,
Yeah.
Right.
practice round and all that stuff. But I think it's just trial and error, and I think we've learned along the ways that there's no direct path. Everyone has their own path, but
Right.
we can help guide people on determining where they're wanting to get to, and where they are at this present time. And there are several different paths that you can take. So
That's exactly right. And so with Hamilton's, career being so busy, and we'll get into Hamilton a little bit later. Um, how do you all balance the golf mom and the golf dad? How do y'all balance the schedule? Because you got a lot of parents out there, and sometimes they both go, sometimes that one goes and the other needs to stay and take the other children to another sport or something like that. How do
yeah,
y'all balance all of that?
Well, I don't know if we do it well, but
Right.
we definitely had decided that we kind of had to divide and conquer, I guess would
Right.
be the philosophy, because we do have two younger children. Hamilton is 17, but
Right.
Jackson, our middle, he's 15. And then Caroline, our daughter, is 13. And they're
Mm,
both just as active. They're just not
yeah.
on the golf course. And I mean, there were definitely the years where we drug them along. Like if I wanted to go
Mhm.
watch Hamilton, and there were some times where we couldn't find babysitters, and we would have to bring a
Yeah.
screaming toddler to the tournament. And that we got through it.
I
Right.
mean, I think the whole cliche that a village helps raise a family. I think that
Yeah.
holds true,
Yeah.
because a lot of times people are, our kids were spending the night with someone else, and
Yeah.
we became good friends with everybody else. So
That village.
it worked
Yes,
out. It
it
worked
did.
Right.
out quite a bit.
Right.
But we do have to, I mean, there are hard decisions we have to make. Well, I'll give you a great example. The US Junior out in
Yeah.
Texas, when Hamilton won,
Right.
Chili was able to go all week, but I was not able to fly out until, I mean, I feel bad saying it, but I couldn't fly out till overnight.
Yeah.
The night
The
before
last
the
the last round, was it the last round?
She was
Right.
feeling guilty. She
Yeah.
was feeling
Right.
guilty. Like, I need to be there.
Yeah.
And
Right. Mom, mom,
I was,
mom had him, so she wanted to be
Yeah.
there, right?
and she's like, I'm gonna get a flight. I'm like,
Yeah.
are you sure?
That's
Yeah.
right. That's right,
I
mom.
didn't get any sleep.
Yeah. So
In
I
That's
fact,
drove.
right.
when they got there, my daughter fell asleep and basically slept inside the
At the
clubhouse.
clubhouse. But
Wow.
so you figure things out. And sometimes it's really flying by the seat of your pants. But we just, and I think one thing with us is that we're super flexible. Like
Mhm.
there are just some tournaments I can't go to, or some that he can't. And we just give each other that space to just say, okay, that's fine. We'll work it out with one parent. But
Yeah.
of course we love it when the whole family can go.
Exactly. That's always the best case scenario, because
Yes.
well, my son played on the underrated tour with Steph Curry, and
Yeah.
there was a tournament in Seattle, Washington that I couldn't go to, and then my wife was able to go to. So yeah, sometimes you just got to work it out where
Mhm.
one goes and the other stays. So
Yeah.
definitely understand that. So let's get into the playbook a little bit. So let's say, I've got a junior golfer starting at the age of 7. Talk to us about these first couple of pages in the playbook.
I think first of all, you got to figure out the main thing is to get the child to love it. I mean,
Right.
I think that is the key. I see too many times, saw too many times where the kids were doing it because the parents wanted them to play.
Right.
And of
Right.
course, it's okay to push them a little bit, but if they
Mhm.
don't love it, you can't force it.
It's a
Right.
hard
And
game to play if you don't
and
love.
and I think with Hamilton, I'll never forget it. We were at church and we were actually doing the Bibles. We were doing the daycare or
Yeah.
whatever at church, and I
Hmm.
was like, man, we gotta find a tournament. So I called the guy in Charlotte. His name's Wes Jones. I
Hmm.
was like, hey, I'm looking to see if I can get into the PGA Junior League.
Right.
He's like, it is booked. It's booked for the next 2 years. I mean, everyone wants to do it.
Mhm.
And I was
That's
like,
junior golf for you.
and
That's
I
junior
said,
golf.
I don't know what to do, because I
Yeah.
mean, because he really wants to play, and I think he's pretty good. he's like, I tell you what, I run also the U.S. Kids local tour. Would
Mhm.
love for you to come out. And I was like, oh, that'd be awesome. I was like, he's pretty good. I'll be honest with you. And
Yeah.
like, well, just go ahead and think. So whatever score you think he's good about to shoot,
Right.
add 10 shots.
Yeah.
Because that is it. And we got there and the guys were shooting like under par, and Hamilton was, his mouth was wide open.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
right. He was so
So
right.
I think you just got to put him in stuff to make them enjoy the game first. That's first of all. And then second of all, kind of determine where he's at. But I think eventually you got to put him out there and just maybe just US Kids, Under Armour Tour. They're both great tours to basically just learn the game, learn how to
Learn.
Get
play.
started.
Yeah.
This competition golf is a lot different than playing with your buddies.
Right.
And
Right.
don't give up either, because I mean we tell this story all the time. Hamilton's very first tournament, he came in last place, and that's okay. I mean, thank goodness we didn't say to him, "Oh, maybe try something else." I mean, that it's just part of it, and you're going to have those tournaments for sure. But
I'll never forget. He came in last place and he hit some great shots. I'll never forget it.
Right.
He learned so much. And I
Mhm.
remember his second tournament, he came in last place. And the reason being is he got in the bunker and he couldn't get out. So he maxed out 10 shots.
Yeah.
And
Pick
he
it.
came home. He was so upset. And I'm like, all right, well, let's go. So I went home and I taught him the flop shot. And there was this place at Skybrook Golf Club in
Yeah.
Charlotte.
I know
And
Scarborough. Yeah.
we went to this little short game area and we spent hours just. I taught him the flop shot, then I taught him how to hit it out of the bunker, and we'd spend hours. And
Mhm.
then he just kept getting better. And I think adversity, you always learn more with adversity than you do by just winning everything. So I
Right.
think the main thing with me, my whole thought process with Hamilton, because he loved it,
yeah,
is to basically, if you want to be good at this game, you got to work your tail off. So he would, whatever he would watch the other kids play and he'd say, you know what, I want to go try that. And he'd worked his tail off to get to that next level. And I think at each tournament he got better by like 2 shots, and then he finally
That's
won
good every time.
the tour championship. So
Yeah.
I think that's the key.
That's good. And so we were in Charlotte too. I need to go back and look at the age groups because we may have been there while y'all were in at the Charlotte US Kids, because we started
oh,
that at
US.
about the age of 9. So it would have been 2015, 2014,
That's
2015
not when
when
we
we
started.
started. Yeah.
yeah,
So I'm gonna go back and look at the leaderboard and see if we see Hamilton on there.
yeah, that would be
I
We
think
played with
John might
Aston
be.
Lee.
Yeah. So I think John might be a year ahead of
Mhm.
Yeah.
Coleman, because when they're younger, they only separated by maybe 1 or 2 years. So
Yeah.
yeah. So let me ask you this. Every junior golfer struggles with a few bad rounds here and there. How did you handle the bad rounds on the way home with when Hamilton had a bad round?
Well, I'll be honest with you, it wasn't easy at first because I
That's
didn't
exactly right.
I didn't
Yeah.
know what to say, and I
Hmm.
think the problem I had was I would talk about the round,
Yeah.
and then I've later learned from his coach now. He's like, if he has a bad round, wait 2 to 3 days.
Correct.
And so we would we would wait. Of course, I'm still bad at this time. I mean, I'm not perfect at it.
I
There are
know.
times I'm like, hey, what
Because you
about
want to
that?
because you want to talk about it right after the round.
But then I start remembering his coach Doug. And I'm like,
Yeah.
hey, you probably need to wait a little bit. But I
Right.
think that's, you got to wait. And I think, it's just it's a delicate thing because he wants it so bad. I mean, he's starting to play amateur events now, and he hadn't been playing
Mhm.
well in some of the amateur events
Sure.
as well
Sure.
as he'd like.
Right.
But
Yeah.
yeah,
but
Yeah.
I still struggle with it. But
Yeah.
I think his coach has helped me kind of realize that the main thing with Hamilton is I care about his attitude more than
Right.
anything. That's the main thing. I've never really cared about how he played because I know it's a hard game. Of course, deep down inside, I try to stay as far away as possible from him, so I stay ahead of him.
That's what I
So,
do too. Yeah.
so
Read the body language.
I'll hide behind a tree or something like that, and
Yeah.
deep down, I'm like, why did he hit it there or whatever? Then I
Yeah.
realize it's a hard game,
Yeah.
but
Very.
the main thing is I want him to have a good attitude because if he doesn't have a good attitude, it's like a domino effect. It gets worse and worse for every
Like the
hole.
energy, it
Yeah.
depletes the energy. So
Yeah.
yeah, I mean that's been a tough one for both of us, but yeah, and we just learned too with Hamilton, there's nothing we could have said because they're already so hard on themselves, a lot of these kids.
Facts. Facts. Yeah.
It's just so why pile on? It just doesn't do any
Yeah.
good.
Right. Yeah.
Even if you mean it from the best place. But
Right. Now let me ask you this. Do y'all have something in the playbook where you, kind of coach the parents on, if the kids have a bad round, how to wait to do any discussions, anything like that?
yeah, I mean, we've definitely shared that advice before.
Sure. Sure.
We haven't gotten into that as much.
Okay. Okay.
But I think that's a really important topic to cover.
I mean,
And
Sarah's working on something right now. I think.
yeah, and
She's working on basically that deal,
mhm.
that the
Sure.
way that they to handle it. But it's a tough situation because
It is. It is.
I
So
mean,
I got
you
some
could
good friends
say
of mine.
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah, no, we got some good friends of mine who was on the show a couple years ago. Mark and Britt McKinney. They have a book called The Drive Home. I highly recommend that book to all of our listeners. And, if y'all have a spot on the playbook where you can put some books, that would be
Okay.
like one
yeah,
of those
that's
books.
okay.
It's called The Drive Home. And,
Check
just when you drive home, they talk about how not to necessarily get into the round, talk about, hey, what do you want to go eat? Just
yeah.
how you gotta, you gotta control yourself when you get in the car. You can't, you can't do
As
all
hard
that.
as
Why
it
did
is.
you hit it in the woods on number 3?
What's your problem?
Right. What's your issue, right? Right. So let me ask you this. When when Hamilton was coming up, when did y'all decide to let him become the CEO of his game?
I think with from me, my perspective was when he started beating me, I
Hmm.
would that's when I was the CEO of his attitude,
Right.
basically.
Right.
But his game, he basically became once he started winning tournaments and he got really, really serious. I would say about 13 or 14.
And
And
that's
then
when he had the
now
coach too.
now he's got he's got it down to a science. Like every day he has a goal. He has for every day, he has a whole practice schedule. He has a journal that he keeps up. And so he does everything himself. In fact, he's got a mental coach he's been talking to. And
Great.
I think
Great.
his coach has been helping him along that way. And I try to just step
Or
back.
just stay back.
My
Yeah.
whole
Yeah.
thing is
Yeah.
I just wanna watch him play because it's
Right.
fun.
Right.
Yeah.
Tell Hamilton he's gonna have to come on the show. I think I reached out on Instagram, but sometimes if they don't follow you, you
Oh
can't send them a
yeah.
message. Yeah.
And he's
So
not good with that Instagram thing,
right.
so
Yeah. We
Tell him
we
to
we
get
have
on.
to handle that. Yeah. We have to
Yes.
handle
yeah,
that.
he's an
So
introvert, so he kinda
right,
like
right, right. So give us an idea about what's in the playbook.
Well, Junior Golf Playbook we really use it well, we have different types of content. So we have our
Sure.
website,
Right.
we're on Instagram a lot. We do have other channels like YouTube and
Of course,
um,
yeah.
TikTok, just those
Yeah.
places, but also a weekly newsletter. And
Beautiful,
that's
beautiful.
that's really important
Well,
to
Sarah's a writer, so
yeah.
that's
So
kind
Yeah.
of why one
Oh,
of the
Sarah's
reasons.
your writer, Sarah? Okay,
yes,
Yes,
nice.
that's,
she's a
Okay.
freelancer.
that's actually
Yeah.
what I do for a living right now, and have for several years. So it's
Okay.
something that I enjoy doing, is putting
Great.
content out there, kind of behind the keyboard. I'm not as comfortable on in front of the camera as as maybe Chili,
Like
but
tonight, right? You're gonna be
yeah,
all over
exactly.
the
That's
gonna be all over
really
the
out
place
of
tonight.
my comfort zone. But that's all right. So anyway, so when we talk about a playbook, I mean, we're definitely using it as a all encompassing word, which I mean, there are just so many facets to junior golf, from the tournament selection to nutrition, picking
That's
clubs.
key.
I mean,
That's key.
yes,
Tournament selection. That's key.
yeah.
Yeah.
And that's where we found most of the parents
Right.
through all of our content. That's where
Yeah.
we do get most of the questions are with tournament selections, and kind of looking ahead to on a path if you think you might want to play in college. I mean,
Mhm.
there are a lot of questions surrounding that.
We're really big into goals. We
Setting
believe in
goals, yeah.
goals, and I
Okay.
think that's the we talk about goals on a regular basis. And
Mhm.
Hamilton's done that since he was 7 years old. He's what are your yearly goals? And he'd write them all down. And you know, as long as it's in writing, you come up with a plan. And I think that's what we've done with Junior Golf Playbook, is
Playbook. Right.
really focus that goals are very important.
Yeah. And
Right.
Hamilton's coach is actually the one that introduced him to the idea of regular goal setting. Because we didn't,
Great.
I mean, we were like, yeah, what do you want to do this year? What tournaments you
Yeah.
want to play?
Right.
But
Right.
no, yeah, his coach really told him, let's get a journal, let's put pen to paper and get this. And sure enough, I mean, he's managed to tick off a lot of his, check off a lot of his goals through the years.
That's really good because we would we would go into tournaments and we would ask John what his goal was, you know, for this tournament. And he would be like, "Oh, I don't want to put any pressure on myself. I don't want to." But his mental coach, Aki and Seiko Masamura out in Las Vegas, start implementing that on their calls. So that I believe that helped. Because, one of the things that I'm trying to teach parents right now in the junior golf world is you have to let other people tell your junior golfers what they
Yeah.
need to hear. Parents can't can't do it. Am I
Well, they didn't want to listen to the parent.
Yeah.
what? Say that again.
Yeah.
Say that again.
Yeah.
Right.
Some
In
Yeah.
fact, I remember he's had three coaches, but every
Right.
coach that he's been to,
Yeah.
I would tell him the exact same thing. And he's like, Dad, I don't want you to tell me anything. Just be quiet.
Right.
And so
Right.
that,
Right.
and then now his coach is like, hey, Chili, you just don't tell him anything. I'll be the guy that tells him what to do. So
Right. Right.
it's like that all the time. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now,
So
what do y'all see as maybe one or two mistakes that y'all see a lot of parents making when it comes to the junior golf journey right now?
that's a good question.
I think I see a lot of people, especially at a young age, that
Hmm.
basically they want they force the kid to do something,
Oh,
and it's there. You got to get them to love the game. If they
yes.
don't love the game, they're not going to do well. And
Right.
I see this all the time with parents. The kids always looking back at the parents, and they're doing it because of mom and dad. They're not doing it because they love the game.
Right.
And I think I see that a lot. You can't force a kid to love the game.
Right.
You got to let them have fun and enjoy the game and get better that way. And I think that's why you see a lot of especially at a younger age, you see a lot of overbearing parents that try to, hey, I mean, we've seen some, I could tell, I'm sure you could too, but the stories that we've heard, and it's just like, it's almost abuse in certain areas. But I
Yeah.
think
Especially when you're young.
you got to have the kid to love the game. And if they don't love it, you can't force it. So
Right.
for example, my other son Jackson,
Mm-hmm.
his swing is incredible, and I've always said he's just a good. He has a
Natural.
great golf swing.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I would take him to the golf course, and he was always looking up to Hamilton, like, "Hey, I want to beat him," but he hadn't practiced.
You
So
can't do that if you don't practice.
we get to the first hole, and he'd hit one bad shot, and it was like it
Melting
was a
Over.
down.
meltdown. And I'd call Sarah, and I was like, "You need to come get this boy." Can't
Come-
do it.
right.
I just know. I think forcing someone to love the game is really hard on the kid.
Yeah.
Right. You know, this is we can talk all night about a lot of this stuff, but I want to actually, I have a example I'm gonna tell you guys after the podcast where I've seen it, and I had to tell the dads to chill out, let the
Yeah.
kids play, and y'all may know them, so I'm gonna talk to y'all after the broadcast. But let me ask you this: when do you think it's time for a family to level up? Because a lot of times it's like, okay, should I just stay local? Should I travel to go play? When's a good time y'all think is a good idea for them to level up and travel versus staying local?
I'm a firm believer in pushing your kid as much as you can. If they love the game
Right.
and they want to get better, I think I'm a firm believer in pushing them.
Let them try.
And
Yeah.
so that's even on the golf course. I remember Hamilton played from the forward tees, and we had
Mhm.
3 holes to go, and I think he was 3 over. And I was like, I tell you, because he wanted this head cover. And
Mm.
he basically said, I told him, I said, if you birdie the last 3 holes and you shoot even par, I'll buy you the head cover.
Oh.
Well, he birdied the number 16.
Uh-huh.
He hit the second on the second hole. He hit
Yeah.
it to about 2 feet, made that birdie putt. Then on the last hole, he had about a 55-foot putt.
Foot putt.
And I was like, "Oh, I'm not gonna have to buy him a head cover. Thank goodness."
Yeah, because they're not cheap.
And the boy sunk the
He
putt.
made the putt.
He made the putt. So I was like,
That's a
so
long
the
putt right there.
next time we went out and played, I was like, he was wanting to play from the forward tees again. I was like, you're not playing from the forward tees. You just shot 72. We're
Right.
gonna move up. And I think that kind of correlates with what I'm saying, that if you got to push them in order for them to learn, even
Yeah.
if they're struggling, it's okay to push them. So I think, to answer your question, when Hamilton was 12 years old, he did really well at US Kids World Championship. And I was like, and all his friends were done. They said, we're going to go do other tours. And so that's when I was like, well, we got to find some other stuff to play in. And so, and then he was starting to win things. And I was like, hey, well, let's go up even more. And that's
Yeah.
when we trying to put him in AJGA. But
Right.
I think that like SJGT and the Tar Heel Tour or Drip Golf, I think those are great transition tours to get into AJGA. So
Yeah, that's good.
that makes sense.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. It
Or
makes
stay with.
100%
Yeah.
sense. What you
Yeah.
want to say, Sarah? Go ahead.
Or to even stay with. I mean, there's so many great tours out there. You just have so many options now.
Yeah, we didn't have that when I was
Yeah,
young.
yeah.
Yeah, that's right. And so what do y'all think is a good way to keep the game fun for the junior golfers?
Well, I think competition, if they're competitive, I think you have to have that goal. And for
Mhm.
example, when Hamilton was younger, we go to the chipping green. He
Right.
loved to chip, and we would
Like
just
fun competition?
yeah, fun
Yeah.
Competition, yes.
We
Mhm.
do
Games.
drills. We
Yeah.
do drills,
Yeah.
and we do basically I throw balls anywhere, like all over the green. And if you got up and down, that would be a par. And so we would just do that to basically, let's try to get as low as you can do. So I
Okay.
think being competitive
And creative.
putting pressure on yourself,
Yeah.
I think that kind of helps them get. Now that doesn't work for everybody. I mean, some people
Mhm.
like to just go out there and play, but I
Right.
think competition is where Hamilton thrives. But
Gotcha.
Yeah.
And how old was Hamilton when he first beat your dad?
I think it was like 12 or 13.
Yeah,
So,
that's about the same for John. Yeah,
yeah,
13. Yeah. It's
yeah,
been about
and then
5 years since I beat him.
and then we got to the point where we were at Northstone Country Club.
Mhm.
We'd have a weekend and we'd have a tournament, but just the two of us.
Okay.
And
Okay.
then when he started beating me by like 3 to 5 shots, I was like, I think you got this. But
Yeah.
I think COVID really helped Hamilton
2020.
and many people
Yeah.
into that age group.
Because he was able to just practice all the time. I mean,
Right.
it was the only thing that was open. So
Yeah. Yeah. Everything else
That's
was
why
closed.
the 2026 class is just on like incredible.
yeah, for junior
Yeah.
golf.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. So as we get ready to wrap it up, I want to ask y'all a couple of rapid fire questions. This has been great. Like I said, I could do this all night. I know we got some stories to share, but I want to ask y'all this. If y'all could go back to Hamilton's, let's say when he was playing at the age of 7, what would y'all do different? Have y'all ever thought about that?
Definitely take a water bottle.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm a little bit
Yeah.
more prepared. Well, and
Right.
actually, that actually leads into my other thing. I did not focus on nutrition at all. Like when he
Yeah.
was younger, I didn't realize the role that feeding yourself throughout a round, how
Yes.
important that was. So, I mean, we just throw a thing of crackers and call it a day. But don't do that. Don't learn from that.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I always, when John was probably 12, 13, I call myself doing something crazy. And I called it putting a team together. And a part of that team was a nutritionist.
Mm.
And I didn't have to hire it. It was just my wife,
Oh,
right.
you said
So
there.
I had a built-in team. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah,
So
for sure.
we put the team together. So my wife would make sure I can remember, John carries at about 310, 320. So we were at a tournament and somebody asked my wife, "Hey, what do you feed John?" And it was like, this extraordinary stuff. And she said, he just eats salmon, he eats healthy, eats good. And it wasn't anything like robust that's gonna make him, hit the ball further. But we just, he eats good and
Yeah.
takes care of his
Yeah.
body.
It's
He
important.
he works out,
Mhm.
So
Yep.
all right. So where do y'all see, what's y'all vision for the junior golf playbook?
Yeah, I think we definitely just want to continue connecting with parents as much as possible, whether that's through the weekly newsletter or with more informative articles,
Mm,
Instagram, you name it. So I think that that's really going to be our focus, is just trying to provide as quality content as possible. So
mhm.
that way, when a parent watches a video or a junior golfer, or reads a newsletter, they walk away saying, "Okay, well, I learned a little something," or "Oh, I hadn't thought about that." So anyway, I think that that's really our main focus, is to try to help bring a little clarity to this confusing world of junior golf.
Junior golf, right,
And with
right.
me, I just love golf, and I just want people to enjoy golf. I just think
Yeah,
when you look at people that play sports, and then you look at, let's say, I'm not even going to name a sport, but let's say you look one sport, and then you look at golfers. I think they are the most mature people you ever meet. They have great manners, and they learn that at a very
correct.
young age. And that's
It's a
what
great
I
sport.
just
Yeah.
want to spread the love of
Yeah,
golf.
right. Good temperament, right?
Yeah.
Right,
Now,
Yeah.
right.
now, I think I know the answer to this question. What's been y'all most proudest moment as a junior golf family?
Yeah, definitely the US Junior
Right.
Well,
watching him. Well, and just the whole week of playing
Yeah,
in the scorching Texas heat, which
yeah,
was crazy. And
right,
I think that was definitely the most proudest moment, as
right.
far as I was so excited. I'm just I'm proud of how Sarah and I have done. We've done a good job, because if you know Hamilton, it's a good kid.
Yeah,
Um,
good, good.
he's very introverted, but we had to. He kind of came out of his shell when he got into high school. He
Right.
started a Bible study. He basically he teaches the Bible study, and
Beautiful.
it's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
Lots of proud moments, but
That's great. That's great. Were you nervous, Dad, at the junior?
Oh my gosh. I think we counted 195 holes, and it was
Yeah.
105 degrees with no trees. And
Yeah, it's wide open out there.
yes, it is.
I think there were like 6 holes left, and Sarah was like, I looked at Sarah, I was like, I don't know if I can go anymore.
Yeah,
No
he was
no
Because I
done.
shade.
walked
He
the whole
done the whole
way, and
week.
she's like, do it for our son.
Yeah, I had to get a little pep talk, and it wasn't anything with round. It was just he was spent. I mean, just
Yeah, he was done. Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
lot of walking because as parents, when you go to some of these tournaments, you can't get a cart.
No, there's
Yeah,
no cart.
yeah.
Exactly.
So you're doing 6 to 8 miles
Yeah.
every round,
And this one didn't
Yeah.
have a tree it had one tree on the whole golf course.
Right. Yeah, I saw that. I saw that. Yeah, it was an incredible tournament. So how can our listeners find you on social media, website? Give us the whole rundown.
Sure. It's easy to remember juniorgolfplaybook.com.
Mhm.
And it's the website. And you can certainly, that's our same Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, all those handles, YouTube, they're the same.
Beautiful.
And if you go to the website, you go to Instagram, wherever you land, you should see a link if you want to sign up for the weekly newsletter and we talk about a lot of general topics. It's not just about like our kids experiencing golf, but we're trying to give parents some tips and tricks and whatever else.
And I'm trying to learn the whole social media thing. I can't figure out the algorithm, but
I don't think anybody can figure that one.
If we could, we would be
and so
Have 1 million followers, right?
exactly.
I think Instagram is my bread and butter, but it's we just started TikTok.
Yes.
Which I got like 3 posts on there, and I tried YouTube, and I'm just not. I'm learning a lot.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
It's a whole new world.
A whole new world. Well, listen, we thank you all for getting on, sharing the Junior Golf Playbook. I think that's so important. I'm doing some things with course management and college recruiting, and I'd love to collaborate on some stuff with you guys, maybe.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So from the Junior Golf Podcast family, we want to say thank y'all for being on, and good luck to Hamilton this year, because I know he's going to have some more big tournaments this year too.
Mhm.
And thank y'all for the Junior Golf Playbook. Okay.
Well,